Hi, and welcome to the KitchenSix podcast, episode 3. I think it's 3. It's 3, right? It's probably 3. You know, with only 3 episodes, you think I would be able to keep count of them, but yeah. Okay, so hi, I'm Nellie, KitchenSix, on Ravelry and Instagram, and pretty much anywhere else, really. Though those are really the only 2 I use. And this is the KitchenSix podcast, and it's a podcast about knitting and things. Other things, lots of other things probably, because things. And yeah, so this is my 3rd episode. I probably said that already. Yeah. But I have subscribers, which is amazing to me that people like actually clicked the subscribe button and said, hey, I want to watch her again, because I'm really not the greatest podcaster out there. But it's nice to have people subscribe, so I wanted to thank you guys for subscribing, and yeah, you guys rock. Thanks. It makes me feel encouraged, so I hope that you enjoy it too, because yeah, this is how I have survived the last year, is by watching other podcasters, so I thought I'd contribute. So with all that out of the way, let's get into that just happened. Boom. What happened? Things that happened. So I finished my sister's hat. I started it the day of the last podcast. It's the Harvest Moon. I have to look at my notebook, sorry. It's the Harvest Moon hat. And I don't have the designer. That was bad. Okay, so it's the Harvest Moon hat. It's on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. And I don't have the designer's name, but I'm sure that if you just search Harvest Moon, it'll come up. Or just look at my projects, because I updated that. Yeah, I know you're surprised. So here it is. It's the Harvest Moon hat. It is a lovely faux cable pattern, and I made it like super extra long, so it's like way slouchy, like super slouchy. Look at how slouchy that is. Because kids these days and their super slouchy hats. I can say that because my sister's like 11 years younger than me. Yeah. So, made that for her. And her birthday is tomorrow, because it's Thursday the 18th right now. February 18th. And her birthday's tomorrow. But I won't give it to her until Monday because she is busy this weekend. So, she'll get that then. And then, the other thing that I finished was my husband's Valentine's Day hat, which I think came out really, really nice. I changed the decreases on the hat top because the way that it was written, it was going to come out like pointy. And I'm not really a fan of, he didn't really want an elf hat, you know, not the pointy, yeah. So instead of doing the decreases, it says to do 4 decreases every round until it's completely done. I did 8 decreases, so I divided it into sets of 20 stitches. And then once I got close to the end, I blended 4 of the decreases into the other 4 decreases so that it came out, I don't know if you can see, it came out really, really nice. So yeah, but I like the way, and it's much, much rounder. See the top, how round it is. The other one, the pattern calls for a really, like, really pointy top, and I just didn't want that at all. So, but this yarn is, I forgot to tell you about the yarn for my sister's hat again. So this is Malabrigo Rios in the Lotus colorway, and it is, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's Malabrigo. Malabrigo is just a lovely, lovely yarn, and it's really soft and really nice. It's DK weight, and I knit that on a size 7 US and a size 8 US, which are, I think, 4.5 and 5 millimeter respectively. Yeah, and this I knit on 2.75s on a circular, 16-inch circular. I do it on my Chagu interchangeables. I love my Chagus. And then the yarn is, it's Claudia's hand-painted Claudia's hand painted. It's her Diction base, and the color is navy and green, which, as you can see, it's dark blue and green and gray, which, if you're from where I'm from, which is Washington, it's the Seahawks colors. I don't know why she didn't say Seahawks yarn. I don't know why she decided to call it navy and green. Maybe she just didn't want to let her Seahawks flag fly, but it's Seahawks colors, so it's the Seahawks hat. And the pattern that I used is the Ribbed for His Pleasure pattern. And again, I didn't write down the designer because apparently I'm crazy. But again, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. You can just download it on there, and if you just search Ribbed for His Pleasure hat, because there's like socks too, which I also have those in my queue. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, Ribbed for His Pleasure, and I finished this yesterday. Like yesterday afternoon. So, and you'll be very amazed I didn't cast on anything new since I finished 2 things. I know, shocking. So, anyway, so it's meant to be a fold-over brim hat, and he can fold it over. Sometimes he likes to wear his hats really small on top. I think that's weird, but whatever. Anyway, so those are both finished, and now he can wear it and not be all angry that I won't let him wear it because I have to put it on the podcast. Yeah, so if you wanted to see my little book, I just write a little bit of information about the pattern. Usually I have like the pattern designer. If I change the cast on at all, I put that on there. If I put the yarn on there, and then I put a little bit of the yarn on there just so that I can see what it looks like. And then I put the start date and the finish date. That way when I don't update Ravelry, I have something to go back to. And this sits like on my coffee table, so it's always available to me. Yeah, so, but that's my little book, and look how pretty it is. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, so that's my book. What else am I working on? No, that's all the things that I did finished. That just happened, boom. Okay, so doing it and doing it and doing it well. Well, what I have been working on, actually let's go back. What I haven't been working on, but will be working on for the next week, is this lace striped hat. Now this is for a friend for her birthday, and her birthday is the first week of March, so this needs to get done, which means I'm going to work on it pretty exclusively for the next couple of days, probably. There's more to that, but we'll get to that later. But so when I am going to be knitting, when I have moments alone to be knitting, I'll be knitting on that because it needs to get done because it's a present. Yeah. Still haven't seen anything for me yet, have you? I know. Alright, so the next thing that I'm working on is, dun-da-da, my socks. So, I finally went back and redid the heel turn, and it came out beautiful. And I just did a basic slip stitch heel, and then I did basic heel turn, and then the gussets are really nice. I didn't get any holes this time, which I am really excited about. I don't know how I did it though. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. But they look really, really nice. Look, no holes. Yay! So I'm just working on the foot now, and then once it gets a little bit longer, I will look up the toe that I wanted to do, which is a slanted toe because I have slanted feet, not round or pointed ones. So I have to look that up again and see how to do that. And I have decided I'm definitely going to rip out this one and redo it, just because. So I didn't know a lot about knitting when I started these. I just dove right in because that's what I do. Can you guys hear that? That is my cat snoring. So she was in the first video too. She was sleeping by the fireplace and she was really, really, really easy to hear over the video. Give me just a second and I will show her to you. Hopefully if you don't get like motion sick or anything. I'm gonna try to do it really gently. So there's my fluffy baby. And that's her snoring. Sorry, she's just gonna snore. She wants to be with me today. Oh no, I'm crooked. There. She wants to be with me today because I'm the mommy, so. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna rip all this out because it's, I look at the stitches now and I'm like, wow, I was so bad at knitting. I love this sock, I do, but I want them to match, and the second sock, because I'm doing it after I've learned so much, is so much neater, the stitches are better, it's just, and I didn't take great notes on this, so I have pretty much no idea all the things that I did. So, and there's a few mistakes in this, and I'm not going to worry about them, but, yeah, so, that's my socks. I'm making progress. I was in a waiting room all day, well, not all day, all afternoon yesterday, so I finished the gusset and made a good bit of progress on the heel, or the foot. And the yarn for that is, it's from Wisdom Yarns, it's called Pix. It's 75% superwash, 25% nylon, and the color is called Techno. It's a really bright, fun colored yarn. I love it. I just love how bright and colorful it is. Excuse me, I need a drink of my, I'm drinking coffee today in my Superman cup. Superman cup. Love my Superman cup. Alright, what else? Okay, so I did the hat and I did the socks. So, the other thing that I'm not working on, but I am going to work on, I swear I'm going to work on it. Totally going to work on it. It's for me. The socks are for me. Honestly, the reason I'm working on the socks is so that I can finish them and start working on my husband's socks, because I really want to finish his socks. I want to finish socks for him. I realize that I'm happier knitting things for other people, but I want things for me too. So I'm trying to find the balance of that. That's an interesting balance to find. So I still haven't gotten anywhere on my Hitofude. See? Still the same. This is just the basic, like, first inch of swatching. And yeah. But I'm going to swatch. I'm going to finish the swatch. That's I'm gonna try to commit to 20 minutes of making this happen a day for the next 2 weeks until the next podcast. So hopefully by the time that you see me next time, this will be finished. The swatch will be finished. Because I'm not a slow knitter, I just have to sit down and make myself do this. I don't know what it is about swatching for the Hitofude that there's a block there somewhere. I really want the Hitofude. I want to do it. I'm not sure what the holdup is there. I think it might be that it's a complicated pattern and there's so much lace that I have to think while I'm doing it. Yeah, that's probably what it is now that I think about it. I use knitting as sort of a soothing relaxation, a mental break from things. So if I have to put a lot of effort into it, I don't always want to do it. But I do really want the Hitofude, so I'm gonna have to make myself do that one, aren't I? Alright, so yeah, there's my Hitofude, and I'm knitting that on Chagoose, size 4, which is a 3.5 mil. Just to knit the swatch and see how it comes out, if my gauge is right, and if my gauge is right, I'll be knitting it on that, and if not, then I'll be re-knitting it on something else. But I'm hoping that I'm pretty close. I got really loose in my gauge for a little while, and then I've managed to tighten it back up a little bit, which which has been kind of an interesting process. Oh, did I say what? I didn't say what needles I had knitted this on, did I? Oh, 2.75s. I knit this on 2.75 millimeters. Yeah. So, okay, so those are, oh no, that's not all the things I'm doing. Remember when I said they was crocheting a blanket for my mother-in-law, my fabulous, amazing mother-in-law? I love this woman dearly, like with all of my heart. I would step in front of a bullet for this woman. Apparently I won't crochet her a blanket though, because that sucks. You have no idea how hard it was not to swear right there. So I'm not going to crochet her a blanket. So I ordered needles to go with my interchangeable set, and I ordered a really big cable, like a 50-inch cable, and I am going to knit her a blanket. Sorry, excuse my reach, I just have to reach all the way over here and get it. So I sat and knit on this for an hour, maybe, after I cast it on, and I'm already as far as I was with the crocheting part. And the crocheting I started like months ago, and this I can just pick up and do a row, and it goes like, I get like half an inch or an inch, but you can see how pretty the colors are. Just such a pretty color of yarn. It's a little washed out because the sun keeps coming out and in and not deciding. But I'm knitting it on, oh, I almost dropped the stitches. I'm knitting it on size 13s, which is 9 millimeters, which they're really fat. Look at how fat they are. They're like as big as my finger. And a really, really long cable. And I'm loving this so much more than I ever I never actually enjoyed crocheting this. So I'm glad that I actually get to knit something for her instead of crocheting, because there will be more joy put into it for her. And that's kind of the whole point. So, and I kind of need to finish this because this was supposed to be a Christmas present. And there's Christmas presents that are still waiting to be sent because this is supposed to be in there. So, before I start anything else, I will probably work on finishing this and my Hito Fude. And if I have to readjust the list of things that I'm supposed to do for March, then I readjust the list of things that I'm supposed to do for March. I'm not going to be inflexible, but I am going to knit with purpose. So yeah, that's the blanket. I like it much better now that I'm knitting it. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on. Oh, shiny pretty things. I actually have shiny pretty things. I know. So I went to a fiber festival. It's called the Madrona Fiber Festival. It's in Tacoma in Washington. Sorry for the crinkling. Alright, I just need another drink. Okay, so I went to a fiber festival. Now, I don't spin. I don't think I would mind spinning, but I really don't want to take up another hobby. Like, I have the sewing and I have the knitting and I have like paper crafting and stuff, and I do want to start dyeing eventually, because I really the process of that and the creativity involved in that really appeals to me. Plus I love color, love color. So dyeing, it seems like a natural thing for me. Spinning, while I love the feel of fibers and I love yarn, I don't think that I have the patience. Well, that's not true. I have tons of patience. I don't think I have the drive to spin. But one of my closest, dearest friends spins, and she, like, her first attempt was amazing, and she's just gotten better. She's fabulous. So the only thing that I was really in love with while I was at the Fiber Festival was this gorgeous, beautiful braid of fiber. Look at how pretty that is. Look at all those colors. Now I have to tell you, there's a color close to this on my walls, and there's a color close to this on my walls, and there's a color close to this on some of my walls. And there's a color close to this on my walls. Yeah, so this is, it's just gorgeous. It's dyed by Wool Gatherings. It's hand-painted yarn and fiber, and they have a website. Let's see, can you see the website? Not so well. So it's www.woolgatheringsfibers.com. I will put it in the down bar, or the little box that has all the notes and stuff. That thing. I'll do it in there. But and it's 100% superfine merino. I don't think it's superwash. Pretty sure it's not superwash, but it's so soft. It is so soft, people. I totally get why people who spin are spinners, because this is so amazingly soft, and it's just, it smells like dye, of course, but oh, I just got fuzz all over my face. What was I thinking? It smelled like cat hair. Still fuzz. Oh goodness. Okay, enough being dorky. Anyway, so, but the colors, I couldn't pass up the colors. I just couldn't, and I knew she would love them too, so they're a little brighter than she would appreciate, which is why she's going to spin the yarn, and then she's going to give it to me, and I'm going to knit something. Yeah, so, but I had given it to her already, and I had to take it back so I could show you guys. So she's waiting for this, but yeah, gosh, it's so pretty. So yeah, that's the only thing that I got at the Fiber Fest, because I didn't find anything that I absolutely had to have that was yarn. Though I did look, there was some really, really nice stuff, and I got a couple of cards for, there was a beautiful, like, rustic yarn that was done in a really nice, beautiful tonal red, and I loved it. But I couldn't think of anything right away to knit with it. Again, my goal for this year is to be intentional with my knitting, and that includes intentional with my purchases. So yeah, and part of buying the fiber was I wanted to get something for her because she couldn't be there. So then after that we went to Yorkshire Yarns, which is in Lakewood. It's one of the local yarn shops to me. It's local being relative. I'm about a half an hour out of anywhere, so kind of on the backside of everything. But I needed a yarn for my husband's father's hat. So I made him a hat at Christmas, and I didn't like the way it came out. It just didn't suit him like I wanted it to suit him. So I went looking for another yarn for his hat, for a new hat for him, and I found this. Look at how pretty that is. Look at how gorgeous and varied the color is. It goes from blackish blues to light denim blues, and it's just, oh, it's so pretty. So this is called, it's from Queensland Collection. It's called Rustic Merino Sport, which, yeah, that's probably about a sport weight. But the color is 15, and I would call it like a navy blue, maybe, sort of ish. But it's really, 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 really pretty. And so there's like, what is there, 328 yards, 300 meters, and yeah, it's just 100% wool. It's not superwash. It's not like super soft, but it is really, really, it's not super scratchy either. It's just a nice feeling, like it definitely feels woolly, but it doesn't feel really like scratchy. So, but I'm probably gonna end up doing a bank head out of this, because my father-in-law's he's a cancer survivor as well, and I feel like cancer survivors should get bank heads, because because Dan from the Bakery Bears, it's his fault, just blame him. Yeah, so I'm gonna do something for him with that. So that's what's cooking as well. And then while we were there, I was just browsing, because it's a yarn shop and that's what you do. and I found this. Doesn't it look like rainbow sherbet? Oh, look at that green in there. I think if it hadn't been for the green, I probably could have passed this up. If it was just the oranges and the pinks and the cranberry or whatever, I would have been able to say no. But you stick that green in there and I'm like, oh, I has to has it. So yeah, I has to has it. So I bought it because it's gorgeous, and I kind of want to make myself another hat because I want one that's a little bit longer that I can fold down or fold up, and yeah, so I'm gonna do it out of that, and it'll be gorgeous and it'll be super pretty. So that's another shiny pretty thing, and another what's cooking. And then the last shiny, oh, I didn't tell you what kind of yarn that was, huh? That's Araucania. It's the Houseo DK, and it's extra fine merino. It's not super wash. And the color is 13 multi, which it's rainbow sherbet. And while we were there, because my husband went with me because he's awesome, he found something for me and asked if I liked the color, but that was the only input I really got. So he got me this gorgeous yarn bowl. So if you look, that is Mount Rainier, and that is the moon. So that's the moonrise over Mount Rainier. And then that is Mount Rainier, and that's the sun coming up behind Mount Rainier. And that's my view from, actually from right here. It's right there. Well, not today because it's cloudy. But that's what I look at when I sit here and knit. I sit here and I knit whatever I'm knitting on, and I look out the window, and if it's clear enough, that's what I see. Is that mountain, and in the mornings when the sun comes up over it, oh, the colors are amazing. Like, it looks like the sherbet without the green, or yeah. And sometimes when the moon rises over it and it's just barely dusk, it's such a beautiful, like, it's, yeah. So it's cool that he found a yarn bowl that had that, and that, you know, it's really, really nice. So that's my shiny pretty things. What's coming up? Well, there's the two hats, one for me and one for my father-in-law. And then I think that's it, like, right away coming up. I think mostly I just want to finish up some things. March. Oh, yeah. So when I finish my socks, I'm going to start socks for my husband out of that charcoal gray. I was hoping to have finished them by now, but I didn't get as much knitting time as I wanted because we've been rearranging rooms. Yeah. And then I want to make a pair of mitts for one of my dear friends, Jane Austen mitts, because she really likes Austen. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it. Oh, there's one more hat that I need to make. I need to make a matching. I need to make a matching bank head with stripes from another bank head. So one of my husband's high school childhood friends, essentially, he has cancer, and I made him a bank head out of a lovely red yarn. It's a Tweedy red from Georgetown Creek, and it's beautiful and soft and cozy, and he loves it. He has stage 4 cancer though, so his chances of surviving are not awesome. So I thought that it would be nice for his wife to have a hat that's in a color that she loves but has stripes from the hat that's his. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say, because I'm going to lose it if I say any more. And you don't want to see me lose it, that's not pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna start that as well. I like having hats going because they're fun and they're easy to take with me. And if the pattern's really simple, I can easily just toss it in a bag and take it wherever. So I'm gonna take a break here because I need a second. It's hard talking about stuff like that for me. It's really close to home for me. Anyway, so I'll be back in just a second and we'll talk about what's going in the pots and pans and what's coming up. Okay, so oh, what's cooking? That's what I was supposed to be doing. I remember now. I really needed the break. Okay, so what's cooking? I told you about the hat for my father-in-law, and I told you about the hat for me. So those are going to go on the needles probably next week or the week after. I might start them just before the next podcast. So, and the hat for our friend's wife, that'll probably go on the needles about the same time, maybe a little after, I don't know. That one's gonna be a hard one to knit, so emotionally not, like, it'll be easy to knit, it'll just be harder to, yeah, anyway, so that's that. What else is cooking? What's cooking in the kitchen is, tonight we're having white bean hash, which, it's, navy beans and sweet potato and leek and red pepper and turnip and some kale and some rosemary, all just kind of, it's a hash, so you just kind of saute it up together. And I'll probably do the navy beans in the rice cooker. Did you know that you can do beans in the rice cooker? Like, you could totally just put those in there. I put mine in with 3 cups of water per cup of beans. I would probably only do like 2 cups of beans because there's a lot of, but yeah, and then just set it on white rice and let it go. I mean, you have to soak them overnight first, and you have to make sure that they're ready to be cooked, but yeah, that's my latest discovery, is you can cook beans in the rice cooker, and it goes way faster and way less effort. So I'm gonna do the white beans in there, and then I'm gonna do all the vegetables. There's tons of vegetables. Like, oh, I love all the vegetables. We eat mostly vegetables around here. I mean, we do eat meat, but not very often. Like, it's really occasional when we eat meat, especially for dinner. Like, we usually do vegetables. The kids get meat in their lunches, but that's pretty much it. They get like turkey, and yeah, sometimes they get roast beef because roast beef is delicious. But it's a really like occasional thing. And then this weekend, my brother's coming into town, and I'm gonna make him one of my favorite dishes, which is it's got chicken thighs, like, and potatoes and olives, and it's called chili citrus chicken, and you use the zest and juice of a couple of oranges, and there's cilantro and parsley, and the olives give it a really beautiful saltiness, and you pre-cook the potatoes a little bit, and then you put them in with the chicken, and the chicken you put, it's literally a paste of chili powder and a couple other things and orange juice, and you like smear it like all over. My hands are always like red. They're always red when I finish making this recipe. So you put the chicken in the oven by itself for a little while, and then after like 15 or 20 minutes you add the potatoes and kind of mix everything up and turn the chicken, and then you leave it in there for another like 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something, and then you add broth, and once the chicken is cooked through and the potatoes are cooked through, which they should be because you pre-cooked them, once all that's done, you take the chicken and the potatoes out. With the broth you add the olives, and sometimes I actually add like half broth, half olive juice from the olive. Yeah, it's actually really, really nice. It adds more olivey flavor. So, and then you take the chicken out and you put the pan on stovetop and boil down the broth and olive juice and make it into sort of a sauce, and then you add in the parsley and the cilantro to finish it, and then you can sprinkle some of the cilantro over the potatoes and chicken, and then you dump the sauce over them. It's one of the best recipes I found in the last few years. It's seriously so good, and everybody that tries it loves it. And it's not terribly hard to make or expensive, but it's definitely one of a labor of love. It takes a few hours to get it all done because there's a lot of chopping and there's a lot of work that goes into it. So the cooking of it takes about an hour all told, but then the chopping takes a good hour before then and takes some effort. So, but it's worth the effort, especially my brother's coming. So my brother lives in Hawaii. He works at a tattoo shop there because he's a tattoo artist. But I haven't seen him since the fall of 2012. So it'll be really, really nice to see him. He's gonna stay for a couple of nights, and so I'm gonna cook that for him on Saturday, and maybe make a salad to go with it. A really light salad with like a lemon tahini dressing. Yay! I love that dressing. It's a beautiful, it's like 2 cloves of garlic and half a cup of tahini and like a 1/4 cup of lemon juice and some water and some salt and pepper. And it's so simple and it's so delicious, and I like to eat it with everything. Like I eat a lot of vegetables throughout the day, and I usually pour myself a little dish of that and then dip cucumbers or carrots or whatever in it as I snack throughout the day. So yeah, that's what's cooking, and yeah. Okay, podcast love. Sorry, I was having some issues in the video there, and I think I fixed it. Hopefully. Maybe. Alright, so podcast love. I watch a lot of podcasts. I've mentioned this before. It was a tough year last year, so I got into knitting podcasts because it made me feel like there was people here, but I didn't actually have to be around people, because sometimes being around people isn't my favoriteest thing. So there's been podcasts that have been catching up on the last couple of weeks. I completely got caught up on the Mandarins podcast. She is Melody. She's from France, but she's living in Latvia. She makes the most amazing and beautiful, just beautiful things. And she uses the nicest yarns. She's also just started dyeing yarn too, which is kind of cool. So check her out. It's the Mandarins podcast. And her name is Melody. The other one that I've just started watching is the Annis Knit podcast. I think she used to do this together with somebody else, but now she's doing it by herself. Her name is Christy, and she's kind of fun. I really like her. Last time she had a glass of wine and she looked like she'd been fairly stressed out. She was like, I'm drinking wine, which I totally appreciate. And then the other one that I'm really, really enjoying is the Legacy Knits podcast, and it's done by Chelsea, and sometimes she has her mom co-host. Her mom is Sue, and their dynamic is so fun. I really, really just enjoy watching them. And they've just been, she had this one episode where she was talking about how she sniffs yarn, and I just giggled through that, because that's me. I mean, you watch me sniff the fiber and get it all over my face. Yeah, that's what I do, that with all my yarns. Yeah. I know it smells like dye. I still have to sniff it. It's a thing. I'm okay with that. And Chelsea is too. So you should check her out. Again, she's the Legacy Knits podcast. So yeah, that's what I've been watching last week, along with all of the other podcasts that I watch regularly. I'm sure that eventually I'll get to all of them. But yeah. So I hope you've had a great couple of weeks, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and hopefully when you see me again, I'll have things done that I really want to finish. Enjoy your knitting, have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys!